I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I'd like to welcome Lux Taleor. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. If you could, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Of course. Thank you for having me. And as for introductions, hello. My name is Lux Taleor. I'm a wandering tale teller who discovered Twitch, you could say. I travel through different worlds and basically tell the tales and stories of those worlds.
Well, we do need good tale tellers.
That is true.
Yeah, whether they're tall tales or whether they're small tales, we need all of them. That's what we used to have. All of our history used to be told by the tailors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a. I think it might be a one of those lost skills in a lot of ways. we rely so much on the pictures off of our phones. we lose the tales behind it.
Yeah, I mean that you have a point there, but for me it's more like I think it's interesting to not only see the perspective of like the heroes of the stories or the losers, but just the perspective of the guy who's recording it and telling it.
Oh, absolutely,
So,
absolutely. And there's always great stories behind those folks, and I'd like to hear about yours. When did you get started on VTubing?
so VTubing actually it started at the end of December last year, so it's about 3 months now, I think.
Mhm.
It's actually to the day when we're recording this. It's actually 3 months now.
Oh, wow. So they actually haven't been behind the microphone with this too long. How has it gone for you? Has it gone just as expected, better than expected, or has it been a little tough going?
I mean, first of all, it's actually not my first time streaming ever. It's
Mhm.
just my first time as a VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
But like had a long break and everything in between. But I really have to say I started VTubing as, I want to try it out. I want to see how it is. Maybe it's better than the streams I did before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm absolutely blown away, actually, and especially what happened in the last 3 months. It's absolutely insane that it went as well as it does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sometimes you just hit the right notes with everybody, and everything comes together, and it goes a little better than expected, and that's got to be fulfilling and it's in a way that it gives you the idea that I did the right thing.
yeah, absolutely. Like only like a couple days ago, I talked with a few of my new VTuber friends.
Mm-hmm.
How incredibly blown away and happy I'm about the fact that I met them all and that we are already like forming our own little like circle of friends there. It's really fun and it makes me happy every time I think about.
So, was that something you thought about when you decided to come back and stream? Was it that type of camaraderie, or was it the audience, or was it something that you wanted to do?
I mean, I always like the reason why I always wanted to stream was, for one, I'm just fascinated by the whole thing of streaming. I like games, I like talking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talk right now a lot. But I didn't expect that I like managed to integrate so fast in the community and find so many friends in such a short time. My previous streaming experience were rather lonely is probably the wrong word, but I didn't really manage to get to know people and find like a community to fit in. But this is absolutely insane, and I didn't dream that this would happen.
Now it's really got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not letting you go anytime soon.
I don't intend to.
When you were streaming before, was it live camera, or was it were you talking over without a camera on you? What was the difference?
I mean, it's like I did this a long time ago, and for a long time, both of them. I started basically with Let's Plays on YouTube, and eventually I hopped over to streaming. I did show myself occasionally on stream, like my face and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of separated this completely from my new streaming persona now. So there should be no link between them because I wanted to start fresh, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
experience came in handy though.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it also maybe takes some of the edge off it being nervous turning it on if you've already recorded yourself and you've heard yourself before online and you've done content creation before. That does seem to make a difference. But
It does make a difference.
yeah, but
it does.
it's still something new. I mean, you've come up with an avatar. You've got a persona to go to, and in the lore storyline. That is a big difference, isn't it?
It is quite a big difference. I gotta say, I planned starting VTubing like the most part of the last year. So I think I started planning for it like in March or April last year. And as I said, I started in December.
Mm-hmm.
And I always a little bit. And then I thought, yeah, what the name, what should my character look like? What should the lore be? And like the closer I got to the date where I've actually started streaming, the more like giddy I got. And I'm so excited.
That gives you kind of a strange momentum going into it, doesn't it? I mean, you suddenly you have all the energy in the world wanting to turn that microphone on.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I remember my earlier streaming days before I started VTubing. At one point, it started to like I wanted to do it, but it was a drag, and I was not really motivated to do it. And right now, even now 3 months in and streaming regularly, I'm still just as excited every time and nervous, and I wonder what I should do, and I catch myself thinking about it in my off time all the time. Like, what could I do? Could I do this on stream or talk about this?
Oh, you are so hooked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just talk about it. I'm grinning like
well, you can
like
hear
crazy.
it. That's great. I mean,
Because
the great part is you can hear it in your voice when you talk about it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I gotta say, I had the troubles before I started with YouTubing that I was quite unmotivated for everything, basically.
Yeah.
Kind of like drag myself from day to day, week to week. But this starting VTubing, I really have to say this was one of the greatest ideas I had in a long time.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember when I was so motivated to do something like this, like to get so hooked on something, and it's really great.
Yeah, I mean, it just definitely does come through in just hearing you describe it and talk about it. It warms the heart to hear that how much you're enjoying it. And that's something that sometimes it's hard for folks to keep going if they don't have don't have what they perceive as success right away. Sounds like you're off to a good start. Has that helped you keep going, or has it just been your initial wonderment that has kept you going in VTubing so far?
I mean, what does keep me going the most is probably the fact that by now, as I said, got a lot of friends already in the VTube community, and just when I interact with them, when I watch their stream, when they hop by my stream, or when I just chat on them on Discord, social media, whatever, every time, every little thing, it just is a reason more for me to keep on going, because apparently it does something. Apparently people still stop by my stream, and it makes me incredibly happy, and this is what keeps me going, really.
So when you have those people come in and you realize that they're coming back for you, not just stopping in and seeing what type of game you're playing or just what's going on, but it's the second and third time they come back, and you build a base of audience, and you get to recognize some of the folks that are coming back. How does that make you feel?
At the beginning, it was quite unfamiliar for me. I always thought like, why do I keep coming back? I'm really that interested. I can't imagine that. But apparently I am. And I'm just incredibly glad and happy about it. I do remember when I started out with VTubing, I thought to myself, I couldn't be happy when I just have like the average of like 5 years or something, if I can manage that within like half a year, I would be over the moon. And basically, this thing already happened in the first 3 streams I started,
Mm-hmm.
and has been going since then.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still absolutely insane to me.
Is to be able to turn on the microphone and know that there are people there waiting for you. That's that's pretty amazing. It's a
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's a thrill. It can be kind of scary sometimes, really, if you look at it that way, because you're kind of responsible now for their entertainment.
Yes, absolutely, and
Yeah.
especially since I hit affiliate and people actually like starting to like subscribe to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have the thought of, okay, now they're spending money on me. Now I have to deliver something. I don't like try to overly force myself, of course, because forcing myself would just come off as weird, I think.
Yeah,
But it's also something, as I said, a responsibility basically to be entertaining.
yeah. But having
But
that,
I do enjoy it.
yeah. I mean, now that I mean, being it's a field that you're enjoying so much, um, and it sounds to me that that the word job doesn't come up yet. It's not a task for you. It's still a a loving hobby at the moment for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm open with this. I do have a day job besides it. So of course, like honestly, I would stream a lot more if I could, but
Hmm.
with my job, I, I kind of have to make sacrifices there.
Oh yeah.
Um, Rent gotta be paid some way after all. But
That's why I'm not in radio anymore. You have to pay the rent somehow.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But for me, I of course like I played with the thought of, okay, what would happen if I suddenly got like a huge influx of people and I suddenly got quote unquote successful with it. And I think even then I would not really consider going full time because I don't wanna like completely rely on it. I wanna keep it as a form of hobby
Hmm. And
because this is part of the joy for me. The fact that I'm not forced to do it, the fact that I want to do it and I really want to do it.
yeah, it does sound like that's very important to you, and to kind of find that wind beneath your wings, and something that catches your interest, and is not just um, rewarding to do, but also you see success coming in for you while doing it. That kind of validation um, has really got to be putting you over the moon.
Yeah, it's honestly for me it's yeah, it's as you said, it's putting me over the moon, and I think if I really would force myself to do it, I would stop.
Mm, yeah.
But I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Uh,
Too much fun.
yeah, way too much, and
Yeah.
it's for me it's a very good thing to cope with like the daily stress and everything.
Yeah.
It's like
It's therapeutic.
I hop into therapeutic exactly.
Yeah.
I hop into my role as Lux Taleor, and I'm not like the guy outside or on the other side of the monitor.
Hmm.
I'm Lux Taleor. I'm the tale teller, and I can talk to people. I can tell them about funny stuff or interesting stuff.
Hmm.
And this in a way, I think it's because I was a bit of a daydreamer and like fantasized about stuff like this
Hmm.
that I find this very therapeutical.
Yeah. Now, where did you get this tale telling thing from? You kind of just hinted at it a little bit there. Is somewhat of a tale spinner, at least in your mind, with daydreaming and such. Um, were you always the person that came up with the extravagant stories and the tall tales around the campfire type of thing?
Well, coming up with tales. I mean, I cannot come up with stories on the spot. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
But I've always had quite a vivid imagination. I talked about this on stream a couple of times in the past that I have, for example, very vivid dreams and very fantastical dreams sometimes, where I am in completely different worlds or places, and I vividly remember the details as if I was telling a story there. Then on the other hand, I always liked story-based game. I always liked RPG, fantasy RPG, and as I said, daydreaming the day all along. Since I was young, all time. Sometimes when I like walk to work, I imagine myself that I'm in a different world and just interacting with others until I like appear in my workplace suddenly, and then okay, reality hit me.
Well, it sounds like to me you've got a lot of creativity. That kind of that is there is all bottled up and ready to go somewhere, and you found an outlet for it now.
Yeah, I think now that you say it like this, that's probably like some truth to it.
Yeah, and here you've got a chance to open that bottle a little bit and let the genie out and and let the genie play a little bit. It sounds like not only it's therapeutic for you, but it's something that an audience is interested in as well. I mean, it's kind of like it's very. It's hard to describe. It's hard to come up with the right words, but that can be very personal experience for the person who's opening up, and it sounds like it's kind of been a revelation for you.
I mean, I always wanted to do something like this. This is also like part of why I started streaming in the first place, not just as a VTuber, but in general, to like just talk about the stuff that's on my mind or like tell someone about the weird ideas I come up with, and I guess it's like it's the best outlet I've ever found for this, and I enjoy it very much.
Yeah,
Especially since there are people who enjoy listening to my rambling.
That's great. It's great to hear. And folks, if you don't hear the pure joy in what Lux is talking about here, then you're not listening with your ears. And your heart, because it really does sound like it's become such a wonderful part of your life right now, and that's always good to hear. So you talk about the RPG games that you like to play and the story based type of games. If I were tuned into your stream this week, what would I see? What would you be doing?
I mean, story and also like story cozy based games are like the main things I play. But I also play like the occasional like horror game when I feel like it, because those are tales too technically.
Yeah.
So I'm not just focusing on like those fantasy RPGs, but any kind of story, be it like a horror game or like even a shooter or something. But the vast majority of time, it's probably RPG kind of games with a fantasy touch.
Yep. So what are you playing now?
Right now, I have 3 games I rotate between. This is Octopath Traveler, which is quite fitting for me because you live through the tale of 8 people there.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So do you switch back?
Okami.
With that one, do you switch back and forth between them as the game goes on, or do you pick and choose? How does that work?
It's basically a JRPG where you have your 8 characters. You can always have 4 on the field at once and fight like Final Fantasy style deep enemies there. And you play through one tale after the other, and they assist each other in those tales.
Oh, that's cool. And you have to
somewhat.
Do you get to pick the 4 that you use, or is it picked for you?
Yeah, I can switch them in and out however I wanted.
Oh, cool.
And for some tales, I need those are better because of their weapons and their skill sets, and for the other things, others are better.
Yeah.
And all of them have quite enticing tales and things that drive them, which is quite fitting for me, I'd say.
That is cool, and you really have to know what you're dealing with. I mean, you have to know your characters well, because you don't want to have the wrong folks out there for the wrong enemies and the wrong story, because you're just going to collapse in a heap. That type of thing really does draw you into the story.
Basically, everything that has a story. I always think every person, be it like in a game or in real life, every person has their own story to it, and this is something that fascinates me. And there's also like games that draw me in when it's a focus on the stories of the individuals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mentioned that's one of the games that you're playing. I interrupted you when you
Yeah.
were talking about the other ones. What other ones are you rotating in right now?
Um, the other one is Okami,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Japanese themed game where you play as the sun goddess Amaterasu in wolf form. Basically, you fight the enemies with a paintbrush, and it's a very, very artistically beautiful game.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of the games that are kind of like that. Um, that's a very different sort of aspect, isn't it? That
Yeah.
type of art, and I know folks go on about art styles and such, but that is so different, and it almost automatically draws you into the story.
Yeah, that's true. And another factor for me, I'm not only interested in tales, I'm
Mhm.
also interested in mythology,
Mm.
which is also like kind of tale.
Oh yeah.
And since this is based around mythology, it's like an additional force that draws me into the game.
Cool. That's excellent. Are there games that you get started and obviously being someone who enjoys a good story? Are there games that you started and you kind of look at and say, after a while, this isn't drawing me in, and then you have to switch to another game. Does that happen to you?
Um, I mean, absolutely. Like sometimes, especially with the very, very long games, at one point, I sometimes, you know, I want to play something else, and I played this so much, and I'm kind of oversaturated with it.
Hmm.
This happens especially with games that I already played in the past.
Hmm.
Like a good example for this right now is Witcher 3. I already played it in the past. I started streaming it, but it's currently on pause because right now I don't feel like continuing because I myself already know where the story goes,
Hmm.
and I don't feel like continuing the story right now.
Yeah,
I will eventually in the past though,
yeah,
in the future in the
yeah.
past.
I mean, there's some games that I imagine the games that you're talking about with the heavy storylines. If there's basically one storyline and there's going to be one or maybe just two possible outcomes, and you've gone through it, that replayability isn't quite as much there. I mean, you might enjoy the game, but you might not play it again.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I just need to switch it up in general, even if
Yeah.
it's like a game I've never played before. If I if I play it too much, then I eventually get sick of it. It's like with a song that got stuck in your head and you listen to it over and over until you get sick of it.
I used I
Sometimes I need to break.
oh my gosh, that hits such a chord with me because I worked in radio for a long time, and this last station I worked at, there was a talk station which I was working on, sports station, a rock music station which was oldies, which I enjoy being an oldie myself, and a pop teenage pop station. So we got lots of Taylor Swift over and over and over and over and over and over the 10 years I worked there, it seemed like the songs never changed.
Yeah, I mean, I personally kind of stopped listening to like the classic radios around my part,
Hmm.
because the songs they play, it's kind of repetitive at some point,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. And there's not a whole lot of around modern radio now, at least in the U.S. I'm not sure about the local radio where you're at, but a lot of the creativity isn't there as it used to be. But the when you hear the same song every day for 10 years,
yeah,
it's
I
it
absolutely
it
get it.
it drives
Like
you right
here
up a
for
tree.
me, like here for me in Austria where I live,
Uh-huh.
we also do have a lot of American songs in the radio, so it's probably relatively similar to the songs you heard,
Mm-mm.
mixed in with a few of like local or German songs.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
I used to listen
but
to
they're also the same.
I used
They're
to
also
listen
the same.
to shortwave radio as a kid, and I remember Radio Austria coming through on occasion, and listening
Oh,
to that. Yeah, a lot of the European stations were. It was always fun to hear the local take on these in the English services, and of course none of that is happening now. If you turn on the shortwave radio, pretty much everything you're going to hear is from China.
Oh God.
Yeah, on every channel, and the channels that they don't want you to hear, they're going to be on that one too. It's a little tough now these days, but the
So not so much variety.
yeah, no, not so much. But you get a chance to choose your own variety. You get to this world that you've created is all in your control, and you get to choose what goes day to day. If a game's just not hitting for you and it's not hitting with you in the audience, you can change the whole pattern. You can start a new tale.
Exactly. That's kind of also a thing that I really enjoy. I I'm also a bit ambitious in the case that I want to finish something I started, but if I really notice me and or the people that are watching me are not really that interested in it, I mean, there's no shame in just pausing it or maybe even canceling it, even though I never
Yeah,
had to cancel a game completely before.
yeah, yeah. If it's just not hitting, it's not hitting, and
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
it's the old adage over here. You can't send electricity through petrified wood. It's just if it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna work. Cut bait,
That's true.
because then you start getting miserable, and the audience starts getting miserable too, and that's what you really don't want. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Because like if the streamer just plays something or does something on stream that they don't really enjoy, it is noticeable for the audience.
yeah,
And
that doesn't sound like
no,
that's
I
gonna
notice
be.
because I when I'm part of the audience, I notice this too. If like
Yeah.
someone plays something or does something on stream and it doesn't really enjoy, then it's noticeable.
No, yeah, it is too. I don't think that's going to be a problem for you, at least not from talking with you here. You sound like you enjoy so much being on that just being there is a fun time for you.
That's absolutely true. Like I had it happen a couple times already during any game I play. That suddenly I go into like a half an hour or hour rant just with chat and don't really play anymore, and just talking about everything, which is always this is exactly the thing that I enjoy the most, just being able to connect with the people out there
Mm,
and meeting new people and
mm.
just yapping basically.
Oh yeah, and the possibility of meeting them all over the world is something else too. I mean, the world is very tiny because of the internet right now, which is good in a lot of ways. Your potential audience is massive. There's still a lot of people who don't know about VTubing and streaming yet, so the audience is going to continue to grow, I think, and more people will be getting involved in it. But I get this feeling that if you didn't have 16 million people on by the end of the year, you're just still going to be happy with what you're doing.
I don't think I will have 60 million people.
I mean, if you do, I mean, you have to
But
turn it down probably. Go away.
no, honestly, even if by the end of the year I'd still be around the same viewership number as I'm right now, I would be happy
Mm,
because there are still people coming by, and that's honestly everything I could ask for.
mm.
I'm grateful for each and every one that comes by and spends time with me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you open the door of the shop and turn that sign that says open, and there are people there waiting for you.
Yeah, basically you could say I basically open my tavern
Mhm.
for the people to come in and listen to the tales I have to tell.
Could it have gone any better for you at this point?
Fun?
I mean, could this new adventure for you that you started a couple months ago, could it have gone any better for you right now? I mean, you sound so happy with it. That I don't. I mean, are there things that could have gone better, or has it all fulfilled your dream so far?
I mean, there is of course always room for improvement, but I'm absolutely happy with the way it is right now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to continue the way I'm in the speed I'm right now, I'm like completely content with it.
Okay.
I'm happy with it. I could do this another three months and another 3 months after that, another 3 months after that.
So with when you have been able to find and work with and talk with and create with other VTubers. Um, was it something that kind of came naturally? Did you go out looking for collaboration, or did it just kind of fall into your lap?
I actually, when I started, I thought, okay, when I want to start streaming, I want to get into the community. I need to get into the community. Mm-hmm. And before I started streaming, I started interacting with people on Blue Sky, on Twitter, to actively like seek them out, mm-hmm. talk to them. Hey, how are you? What are you? And just asking them about, just getting to know them, basically.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I did go out and actively spoke to people. Mm. I do remember one incident. It's very funny. Like one of the bigger incidents at the beginning was that someone tried, like an artist scammer tried to scam me on Blue Sky, and I'm not someone who falls for that due to the job I do. I'm quite resilient to those and immediately spot this kind of stuff. But I do have a bit of fun with those people then, and basically lead them along. And once basically the gig is up, I looked into the people who also followed them and basically wrote them, hey, watch out, this guy's a scammer. And that's the way how I got to know a few people at the beginning. So basically, a scammer helped me to get to know more people. So I basically scammed the scammer, you could say.
That's using every tool in the book right there.
You have to use what life gives you. So
yeah, absolutely. You have certain cards, and unless you have something hidden up your sleeve, that's what you got to play.
Exactly. Yeah. If you have an opportunity and you spot it, why not do it your best? Yeah. And I mean, I have to say, I didn't reach out to the people in the hopes that I connect to them. I genuinely just wanted to warn them. But some people I got, then we continued talking about stuff, and yeah.
So how is this obvious positive online interaction, has that carried over to how you interact with people offline as well?
I would actually say it's the other way around. I'm always a person that I always say it's basically impossible to get me angry. Like I think in my whole life there's only one person that actually made me angry to a point I never wouldn't want to talk to them anymore. One singular person in my whole life. Because I'm always someone who's very diplomatic and tries to see the good in people without being too naive, of course.
Yeah.
And I avoid conflict wherever it is and try to de-escalate. And that's also like, I'm a very genuine person when it comes to this stuff.
That's cool.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's empathy, isn't it? I mean, you kind of put yourself in somebody else's shoes and say, well, why in the world did they do that? And rather than immediately flying off the cuff and throwing things at them.
Absolutely, and that's also kind of in the spirit of a tale teller, I think, personally, because you tell the tales from other people, and if you know those tales, you understand the people better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you cannot tell tales without being in a position or without wanting to listen to them and cooperate with them, even if you have like a few things you are not agreeing on.
Yeah, and curiosity is big too in that.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to have some sense of wonderment about you, because if you don't care, nobody else cares.
That's absolutely true.
And it sounds like you're carrying in absolute aces here, because all the meters are in the red. You've really caught lightning in a bottle here in a format and in a outlet that seems pretty much ready for you to do this. It was like it was made for you.
I mean, that's like the best compliment someone could give me. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
I really put thought into what I wanted to do as a VTuber and what fits me the best, and it's very nice to hear that you also noticed this, that I really enjoy this, and that, as you said, the lightning in the bottle here, and it's made for me. And I also come to think of it that as a way that it was really quite a good idea to go with this persona, with this person I am.
Well, I haven't even asked you yet. Have you got some big plans coming up for the channel this year?
I mean, I do have one big plan. I want to have a new model by the end of the year.
Yeah.
A full body model, because little fun fact here, my current model is only like down to my belt line basically. And the reason for this was, by the way, because I wasn't sure if I really want to commit so much to it, but by now I am sure I want to commit more to it.
Yeah.
And I want to make a bigger model and an actual debut at one point this year. But there's not like a set time when I want to do it. I just plan to do it by the end of the year at the latest. And beside that, I have like little smaller collabs and like stream ideas I want to do.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's like you're walking along a road and your path is opening up in front of you before you even get there. That type of a almost a yellow brick road type of thing.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I just do what I think is right.
Yeah.
Or what I think I wanna do really is probably the better way of saying it.
Yeah. I don't want to discount the fact that you're working hard to do this, because you are, obviously, but all of that is the success that you're reaping from it is really heartening to hear. That you're that not only are you enjoying it, but you want to do more and you want to continue going with this. I hope that folks listening, and we do have a lot of the folks who do listen to these interviews are other VTubers, that they take this to heart too. That it's sometimes you do find your passion and you do get to enjoy it, and you have to remember that it is a passion and not a job.
Yeah, that's exactly my way of thinking about it too. Like, I do understand. I already met a few VTubers that see this more as a job they want to do, which is absolutely fine as well, of course. But it's also important, I think, especially at the beginning, to not forget that you should be passionate about it. That it's okay that if you're not feeling well, that you take care of yourself first and foremost, so you can bring the passion into the stream and not lose the passion because you burn yourself out at one point.
I just don't see it happening for you for some time, folks. You gotta get a hold of Lux here and check out what's going on, because Lux has got something going on that's really good. You can hear it in Lux's voice and in how that Lux has presented it here. I really didn't have to ask that many questions. I just got to get to point you in a direction and click.
Yeah, I mean, I am a professional yapper too, so I talk a lot. Yeah. That's something I can do very, very well, which of course is quite good for a tale teller.
Yes, absolutely. You better. It's hard to do. It's hard to tell tales when you don't open your mouth.
That's true. Although I do have to admit, sometimes I'm struggling a little bit when it comes in terms of finding the correct words. Since, as it's probably quite evident, I'm not a native English speaker. My native language is German.
Right.
And I sometimes like the accent, and sometimes I don't find the right words.
Well, what's great about that, and that's something I'm very jealous of, you folks who can speak all sorts of different languages and make me look bad, is the fact that you get to, if you don't have a particular word in English that describes what you're wanting to say, you can just go to German and come up with it.
I mean, that's actually like something that the English language does, like with the words of doppelganger and something. This is a German word, for example.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that English does well is copy other languages.
I mean, the topic of like languages in general is quite fascinating.
We steal things better than anybody else. It reminds me of my days in radio. We just steal things better than anybody else.
No, it's not just English. Like, this is every language. We have that borrow words from other languages. Like in German, we also say like portemonnaie which
Yeah.
is a French word.
Yeah.
And especially with the newer linguistic coming with the internet, a lot of English words creep into the German language too.
Yeah.
They become quite common here.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you what, folks, if you head over to what Lux is doing, it will become quite common for you to continue going back to what Lux is doing. We're going to have all of the links that we've been able to find in the description for the interview here. It has been a very quick interview with you, Lux, and I hope to have you back here soon. Absolute pleasure to talk with you, and I've had a smile on my face since the beginning of this interview, and that's because of you.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. I'm also grinning the entire time, but getting the chance to talk like this about the things I wanted to do and I have on mind, it's like something really, really nice. And thank you so much for having me and inviting me to this.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.